Hi, welcome back, and we're going to go through some fundamentals of the practice. First, we'll talk about preparation. Second, we're going to talk about posture. And third, we're going to talk about breath. So for preparations, some of them are kind of commonsensical. You want to wear loose-fitting clothing. You want to wear flat-soled shoes. One thing they do in China is that they do it early in the morning. They believe that there's more qi, or this energy. And to explain something about qi, they think that your body and all the air and everything is composed of this vital energy, qi, different forms of it. And that by moving this qi around, that's how you attain health. So in the morning, when the sun strikes the ground and you kind of see that mist coming up, they believe that qi is just more flowing. And in addition, if you do it, they do it usually by a water surface, or Guolin Qigong is very into doing it by trees. And my teacher, Yu Sifu, was always had to stand really close to pine trees and smelling. The interesting part was that actually made a lot of sense, because there's a lot of oxygen created by pine trees, when in the morning especially. So they would stand by that to get a lot of oxygen into their system, we'd say, but they say that, pine tree has great qi. So you want to do it in the morning if you can, but any time really is okay. You want to connect with the trees, even if you can't be right next to a tree. A lot of times they say, to look into the distance, be in a tree. Another thing you want to do in terms of preparation is not doing it right after you've eaten, and you don't want to do it when you're hungry. So sometime, I usually do it in the morning before I have breakfast, if I have time, but if you can't, just do it some other time when you're not hungry and when you're not right after eating. Another thing to learn about Qigong is not to do it when you're angry or upset or any sort of emotions. You want to be calm, which gets yet to one of the most fundamental points of Qigong, which is to be relaxed, what they call sung in Chinese, which is to not be relaxed like we think. When we tell people to be loose, we're saying not to be here, but they call it being energized like a cat. You'll see in our standing posture that even though we're standing, we're very soft and we're very flowing and very rounded. So we want to be relaxed, and they think by opening up your muscles and being relaxed, you let the energy come through. When you're tight and constricted, if you've ever tried to do that, you can't keep a fist very long. And in their view, that's because the qi gets caught and you cannot keep that fist. Whereas if you're loose and relaxed, you have a much more greater range of motion, you have much greater strength. And babies, for instance, can cry all night when they're relaxed, and that's one of their other kind of tenets, is to be soft like a baby, because that's to regain your health. So that's another basic tenet of Guolin Qigong. Now, what I want you to understand is that when you do all these preparations, then we're going to get into the types of things that go into the actual standing and breath patterns. And for that, we need the correct posture. Now, the correct posture, if you're an American in the West, is to be, this kind of a posture. We always taught chest out, chin out, back, kind of straight, that kind of a thing, which actually their posture is absolutely the opposite. In their posture, what you do is you get the chin in by having the neck actually feel like you're extended. What they always talk about is feeling like you have a string being pulled from above. And what that does allows your neck to relax, your chin to come in. You want to have your feet shoulder width apart, okay? So you don't want to have too wide of a stance, shoulder width apart. You want your shoulders to come down. Your chest isn't out, it's nice and soft and relaxed. You allow your pelvis to slip underneath you, and you bend your knees. If your knees are locked, you just can't do this very effectively at all, because it locks your back as well. You want your knees to be springy and your ankles to feel like springs. By doing that, you open up the qi channels or the meridians through your body. All right, so whatever we're going to do, if we're going to do our walking posture when we're walking, or if we're going to do our standing posture, or any of our other exercises of gathering, we always have this posture. It's the same posture we use in Tai Chi, of having the spine elongated, pulled up from the top and by the bottom. This allows this part to actually relax. Usually your abdominals are tight, but now we're going to relax, and that's the next function, is the breath. We breathe way down deep here in Qigong. Now, most people, when they first learn about Qigong, they kind of think they may be able to do it, but a lot of people are really stuck breathing up in their chest, and they can't do the abdominal diaphragmatic breathing very easily. And it really is a key. Now, they believe it's a key because down here is an energy center, probably the most important energy center for Tai Chi and other internal energy arts. It's called the Dantian. And it's below your belly button. If you put your thumb in your belly button, cover over your hand down lower, that's where your Dantian is, about 2 fingers distance below your belly button, about 2 inches inside your body. And they believe this is your energy reservoir that you have when you're born. Therefore, by breathing into this area, you're able to activate this energy reservoir and get this energy you have from birth moving throughout your system. So it's key. Now, from the Western point of view, that's why Guilin Qigong maybe makes a lot of sense as a healing agent for cancer. By breathing abdominally, diaphragmatically, you get 2 to 8 times as much oxygen as you would by breathing in your chest. By oxygenating your system, you may be fighting cancer. Research has shown that cancer may like an anaerobic environment. They don't like to be oxygenated. So if you oxygenate your system by breathing in this way and walking in this way with this kind of breathing, that may be one fundamental reason that from the Western point of view it fights cancer. In addition, moving in that way and breathing deep down pumps your lymph system. That kind of diaphragmatic breathing gets your lymph system, which is all around here in your groin, moving, and that gets your whole immune system to work much more efficiently. So by moving your legs in this area, by pumping it like that, and also by breathing in this way, you're really having a dramatic effect on your lymph system. And that may be the reason why they've shown that people, after they do Guilin Qigong, have differences in the immune factors found in their blood work, which is really interesting and wouldn't be what you would expect just after a simple half-an-hour spell of doing Guilin Qigong. So to do that breath, what I want you to do is put your hands down here, and as you breathe out, you gently push until all the air goes out. Try to expel it with your mouth. Then wait a second. And let it fill in naturally. And then one more time, I want you to breathe out. Let it come in naturally and deep. And that's what Guilin Qigong, or any sort of Qigong breathing usually is. It's that deep abdominal breathing. Now, to practice that naturally takes you to relax in your abdomen. If you're tight, you can't do it. You're very constricted. So what you do, use your muscles to breathe in, and you relax them totally. And let it fill up like a balloon. Often that's the imagery you use of balloon decreasing in size, expanding in size, decreasing in size, expanding in size. And there's lots of different breath you can use, but that's the basic breath for Guilin Qigong. The twist is, when we do the walking exercise, especially the beginning walk and some of the slower walking, we do 2 breaths in and 1 breath out. It's called Shi Shi Hu, because Shi Shi means breathe in and Hu means breathe out. Now, it doesn't mean you go, that's usually how people start their breathing in Guilin Qigong. They go and tighten up. What you do is you relax, and it's just a nice, soft, deep. It feels like a stream of water running in if it's done right. And you can breathe out through your mouth or through your nose again. Okay? So when you're doing the walking, as you'll see, you can breathe in and out. But it's very relaxed in your abdomen. If you feel yourself tensing, try to let that area relax and go, because that's when you get the benefits, by letting that area expand naturally. And the keys to that is having the correct posture. Okay? So now that we have the preparatory work, we have the breath, all right, and we have the correct posture, we can move on into the fundamentals of Guilin, which are the opening exercises, which are next.